Hi there everybody, Siggy Seroka with another weekly weather explainer for you. And this one, we're going to keep it pretty simple, but it is going to cover something pretty interesting. We're talking about the dew point and the frost point because we are still waiting for that first frost and it's coming. Don't worry, we're going to see cool enough temps for it. But first, to talk about dew point, I know this is hard to read, so I'll break it down for you. But all the dew point is the temperature that air needs to be cooled to at that same pressure. So pressure's not changing in the atmosphere. Dew point is the temperature that air needs to be cooled to reach 100% relative humidity, or as it's known, saturation. And all that point means is that air cannot take any more water into it in a gas form. So as more moisture is pulled into that air after it's reached 100% or the dew point, we'll start to see fog or precipitation. Now, the higher the dew point rises, that's the greater amount of moisture in the air. So basically, you can have an 80-degree day, but the dew point's at 35 or 40, and that's not really going to be a very moist atmosphere. Now, you can have an 80-degree day with the dew point at about 55 or 60, and there's a lot of moisture in the air. And so if you're looking to see, how humid or dry it is outside, really look at the dew point. Don't look at where the relative humidity is saying, because that just means that it won't take in any more moisture in a gas form. But if you look at the dew point and you see that it's less than or equal to 55, well, it's going to be pretty dry or comfortable outside. If it's 55 to 65, it's kind of a little more sticky and muggy in the evenings there, or even in the mornings. And then if it's greater than or equal to 65, lots of moisture in the air, kind of becoming oppressive. It feels pretty heavy outside, and you could expect to see some pretty dense fog, consistent mist, maybe even rain a little bit there. So it kind of becomes a little bit not so pleasant to be outside when the dew point gets above 65. Now the frost point, this one also a little difficult to read, but it's basically along those same lines. Now it's the temperature at which the air, when it is saturated, so we've already hit the dew point with respect to water vapor over an ice surface. Now vapor pressure is less over an ice surface, so you actually sort of need to get more moisture in the atmosphere. You need to get that relative humidity above 100% so you can start seeing some of that ice form, because super cool liquid at the surface with the same temperature when the humidity is 100%, it doesn't need as much moisture being pulled in anymore after it reaches saturation to begin creating some fog. So basically, to get frost out there, you need more moisture than the air can hold with temperatures or an icy surface or freezing temperatures on the ground. That will help because precipitation growth is favored over icy areas. Ice really loves to bond with water particles that are right next to it and help it kind of spread a little bit more than, say, a dry surface when it gets foggy in just some of these fall mornings. But that basically does it for your weather explainer. Stay right here for more news and weather updates on that nonstop local streaming channel.